As of August 1st, 2022, Etsy is bringing in the Etsy Purchase Protection Program. Today, I'm going to break down this program and tell you all about it, and also break down when you're eligible for it and when you're not eligible for it, so you can be prepared to take advantage of this new program. So what exactly is this program? Basically, eligible orders, and I'll go into what eligible means soon, don't worry, worth up to $250 US. What will happen is that if there's a problem with that order, like it's lost or damaged in transit, Etsy will actually refund the buyer out of their pocket instead of you having to refund out of yours. So this means they do the refunding, you get to keep your money, which is a win for sellers. However, this is not a blanket every single order up to $250 US. There are, of course, caveats, or as Etsy would say, eligibility requirements. Basically, your item needs to either have tracking or you need to have purchased an Etsy shipping label. Anyone who sends anything that does not have tracking and you did not use Etsy's shipping label, it will not be eligible for this program. So I've seen a lot of discussion about, oh, you have to buy Etsy shipping labels. No, that's not true. You just have to have eligible shipping, eligible tracking for your order. So here in Australia, I would just have to get tracking through Australia Post and put it into the order on Etsy to be eligible to be covered by Etsy Purchase Protection. I don't know why I keep struggling to say Etsy Purchase Protection, but I do. Let's see how I go for the rest of the video. Another thing they say is to make sure to dispatch on time. So orders that are dispatched on time will be eligible for the Etsy. So orders dispatched on time will be eligible for the Etsy Purchase Protection Program. It's adding the program on the end, that's the problem. So make sure that you do dispatch things on time, or you alter your dispatch by date so that it's still dispatched on time, but don't let it tick over and go past the proper dispatch date that's on Etsy. Another thing they talk about is having accurate photos and videos. So this is another way that your orders will be eligible for the Purchase Protection Program. Okay, so in other words, if you take bad photos or you send the wrong thing or whatever, that's probably not going to be covered. You know, if the customer is disappointed because it doesn't look like the photos, then there might be a bit of a gray area there for the program. They also say that participating in this program is completely optional. So what I'm assuming from that is if this issue does arise, you have a choice whether to refund using Etsy Purchase Protection or replace the order or do something else. So it's kind of up to you. So in the past, you know, I have a no refund policy in that I don't refund people if stuff goes missing in the post, I replace it. If something gets arrived damaged, I don't refund, I replace it. Now the reason I do this is because I want to cut down on the ability of scammers to scam me. Because if they claim they haven't received it, they're not getting a refund from me, they're just going to get another one. Okay, so if anyone's trying to run a scam where they're like, oh, I haven't got it, I'm like, okay, I'll send you a replacement. That's my policy. So, and that's in my policies as well, clearly, that I do that. So that might be something to consider as well, that it is an optional program. Now, there's one more caveat that they kind of bury there, and I want to make sure you're aware of it. So I'm going to read it off the screen over here, okay? Let me just take my microphone with me so I don't sound weird. After the first instance of accidental damage per calendar year, any subsequent orders that were damaged during delivery will not be eligible for Etsy's Purchase Protection Program. So you get one chance for damage in a year. That's the only time. So only once will they actually let you use this program if your stuff arrives damaged. Now, obviously, stuff arriving damaged should be pretty rare if you pack things properly. So, you know, that's what they're doing here, is making sure you're actually on the ball and packing things properly. But occasionally damage happens outside of your control. The post office damages it, or the delivery driver damages it. I had a great one once in the first year of my business. My customer literally sent me a photo of the little parcel with a tire track across the middle of it, because the postie had literally driven his postie bike or her postie bike across the parcel, which had smashed the stone and the necklace that was inside. So that was great. But on the bright side, I was able to claim from the postal service damages for that, because it was pretty obvious that they had done the damage. So there's a bit of a Q&A on the Etsy forums about this, where one of Etsy's staff has answered some questions. I think there's some interesting stuff. I'll link to it in the description below so you can check that out. The final one I just want to draw attention to, because they clarify that buyers can't circumvent you in this process. They can't go straight to Etsy and ask for a refund. They have to contact you first. So they still have to contact you first about it before this Etsy seller protection thing will kick in. And this is where I'm assuming, because we don't have it yet and we can't see how it works, this is where I'm assuming you get to choose which way you want to go, whether you want to invoke Etsy seller protection and get them to refund the customer, or you want to do your own thing like I would, sending a replacement item to the customer. I mean, one thing it could do for me is that, if an item hasn't arrived, I can say to the customer, look, I can put it through Etsy purchase protection, you'll get a refund, and then you can reorder from me. And that means I actually get paid to make the replacement rather than just sending a replacement at my cost, which is great. So, if that circumstance arises, I will certainly be happy about that, because as far as I can see, there's no reason why you couldn't do that. I can't see anything about, they can't reorder again the same product and pay you again. So hopefully that's something that will be helpful to a lot of people. But again, there are limits on the amount of money. There are limits on eligibility. So, for example, at this point in time, I don't send my domestic orders with tracking because I can ship for like $2 or $3 versus the $13 or $14 it would cost to send with tracking, which means I can save my customers money, and the amount of times things go missing is very, very small. So, to me, this feels like just another way Etsy is trying to push you to pay for tracking or pay for Etsy shipping labels, which is really frustrating because they're already doing that with the Star Seller program, because you can't get Star Seller without having everything either through Etsy shipping labels or with tracking. And there's plenty of us in other countries outside the US where it's a lot cheaper for us to send domestically without tracking. So that's a bit frustrating. I mean, I totally understand why, because if there's no tracking, then how do you prove that something's even been shipped, right? So they're covering their own selves here, basically, with that part of the process, but it still is a bit frustrating that I might not actually be able to take advantage of it unless I do change my shipping and charge my customers more, which might result in me getting less sales. So is it worth it? For the once or twice a year, something might go missing. I don't know, it's a decision that we're all going to have to make for our own shops. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Do you think this is a good program? Do you think it's not a good program? Is it going to help you? Is it going to benefit you? Is it something you can see yourself taking advantage of? Do you have any questions about it that haven't been answered in this video? I will put a link below, as I said, to the information about this on Etsy, so you can check that out if you want more details. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this one, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos on Etsy, or how to have a thriving and profitable handmade business and a happy and productive work from home lifestyle as well. If you want to check out any of my other Etsy videos, you can do that right here on my Etsy playlist. I've got tons of videos there covering all aspects of selling on Etsy. Hope you enjoy that. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.